Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Ostiarius, but you can call me Osti, and welcome to the Great Ace Attorney. A few things to talk about before we start the stream. Oh, you can see my mouse. First, we may have some issues with the stream. I haven't streamed in close to a month, so we may have some problems here or there, but everything should be fine. We will see. Second thing, this is not the vanilla version of the Great Ace Attorney. This is a modded version of the Great Ace Attorney because when I was researching it, apparently there is a mod that can fix a possible crash that you can get. And for me, that sounds like a good idea. So I just downloaded that mod. What else we need to talk about before we can start the game? The game itself. The Great Ace Attorney is a spin-off of the Ace Attorney series. From my understanding, you don't need to know anything about the series to watch this one. These are two games that are completely isolated, and I know nothing about this one. I have played most of Ace Attorney games. I have played, of the 6 games, I believe I played the first 5. I still need to play the 6th game. But yeah, you should be fine completely blindly. Oh yeah, this is a visual novel, which means this is 99% text. Next thing we need to talk about, this game has 2 options. You can play with Japanese voice acting or English voice acting. We are gonna go with English voice acting for 2 reasons. First is this game does not pass in Japan. This game instead has the setting of England, at least I think so. And so English voice acting fits more. The second is I haven't streamed in a month, and I don't think the first stream should be me reading text for 3 fucking hours. So I'm gonna go with the English dub so I don't have to read everything. I believe anything else we need to talk before we start? Oh yeah, playstyle. I do want to explain this before we start. Ace Attorney, normally most people who play Ace Attorney end up falling into 2 groups. One who just reads the story and reacts to it, and ones who stop every 5 minutes to create theories and try to guess what's going to happen. And I know from looking online that some people really prefer one type of streamer to another. And I'm the second type. So if you're expecting me to just read and react, no, I'm gonna be spending a lot of time trying to figure things out before the game tells me. I think that's everything. Let's see. Select adventure. Oh yeah, we are gonna be playing mouse and keyboard because it's a visual novel. These are the 2 games. We are gonna be playing the first game today, and then we're going to be playing a different game and then come back to the second game. Each Ace Attorney, at least the ones I play, are 5 cases. I think it's normally 5 cases. If I go select adventure, first case, second, third, fourth, fifth. Okay, yeah, 5 cases. I'm not gonna even look at the names. That's a spoiler. As always, this is a blind playthrough, so please do not post spoilers in comments or anything else. But yeah, that's enough. Let's start. Ooh, cutscene.
The Empire of Japan. After opening its doors, a push for cultural transformation brought great waves of Western influence to this far eastern island
When did Japan start opening its border? I don't know history. 1600, 700, later?
And unsettling.
No,
it was
later.
a period of great change, and some was swept away by the tide.
Okay. When does this game passes? I don't know. And we have our first murder. Yeah, who is the protagonist of this game?
Man, the turbulence of that era was just the beginning of an extraordinary story.
Okay, you are in front of the dead man with a gun. So you're probably not the killer. Oh, they're not showing you the killer. Normally, Ace Attorney, they actually do show you the killer at the start. The Adventure of the Great Departure. 30th of November, 843, Supreme Court of the Judicature, Defiance, and Chamber 5. Okay. Bunch of hard words for me to say. I still can't believe it. I still can't believe this is happening. Where is the voice acting? Oh yeah, options. Oh, it's the same options. Okay. Can I say? Okay. The Departure Trial 1 Supreme Court. Okay. I don't think there's anything. What is this? This is an auto mode. We don't need this. I still can't believe this is happening. How can it be that just beyond the doors of this quiet little chamber is the highest court in Japan? Okay, so we are in Japan, not in England, waiting to decide my fate. Okay, so we are from the point of view of the guy with the gun. Bailey. What? Oh, no, nothing. Save your glares, murder. Sorry. Okay, so... Ryunosuke. Ryunosuke Naruhodo. Naruhodo is Japanese for I understand? Yes. Was Naruhodo the name of Phoenix in Japanese? Because I know that Phoenix has a different name. In English, his name is Phoenix Wright. I believe the Wright is Naruhodo. I don't remember his Japanese name. Ryunosuke. I'm a second-year student at the Imperial Yume University. 3 days ago, I somehow found myself in the middle of a horrifying incident. And now, here I am, waiting my trial. That's enough. Okay, who the fuck are you? Oh, are you the attorney? You have a very justice design. Oh yeah, you have the attorney badge. He's not obliged to listen to such abuse, officer. And who are you? I'm this man's lawyer, and I will be defending him today. Lawyer? Yes. And until the judge has given his verdict on the case, no one has the right to treat him as a criminal. So you hold your tongue. Technicalities. Look at you, you haven't even graduated yet. Okay, so our lawyer is a beginner. And yet, I still seem to know better than you how a court officer should behave. Right, Ryunosuke? Oh, yes, of course. Sorry. What are you apologizing to me for? Do we know you? We do have the same uniform, so maybe the same university? What was the name of university you made? Oh yeah, this game has... Okay, it has a log. It was University Yume, I think. Yeah. I suppose it wasn't my fault. Can I... I can use... Sorry, I'm just testing. I can use the mouse scroll to move forward, but not backwards. But really, Kazuma. I never meant to drag you into this. I'm sorry. And there you go, apologizing. Just like always. So, I must say, you've been all over the newspapers this past few days. Yume University professor... Okay, the professor. Murdered in cold blood by a student. But obviously, you didn't actually did it. Sorry, you didn't actually do it, did you? Of course not, you have to believe me. I didn't do it. I could never murder someone. Then there is nothing to worry about. Straight up yourself up, hold your head high. Yumi, I believe you. I know you're innocent. Ryunosuke. Let me just call him Naruhodo. Kazuma Osugi, my best friend. Okay, so we know him. Also in his second year at Yume University. But he's far more clever than I. A star student, in fact. Is it because he has a star on his neck? I did not read that. He's even a qualified lawyer. Impressive considering he's still an undergraduate. Not that impressive. Oh, I thought this was on our mind. The very concept of lawyers is only a few years old here in Japan anyways. My qualifications don't mean much, yet. You said exactly the same thing 3 days ago. But I'm proud to have a friend like you, Kazuma. Truly. 3 days ago. Yes, that is when all this started. Okay. Are you the murderer? Congratulations, Kazuma. Look like you're gonna get to study abroad at last. I know, I've been forever dreaming of this day. Finally, those government elites have acknowledged my academic achievements and success in court. So let me just change this position a second. Sorry. Finally, the government has acknowledged... Okay. So, can I click outside the box? So you'll be representing Japan as you immerse yourself in the most sophisticated legal system in the world. I'm really happy for you and proud as your friend. I was expecting more voice acting. There is not a soul in the university who doesn't know Kazuma's name. He's a living legend. It's like there is some mysterious aura billowing around his temple. Billowing? Like floating? I want to bring about change in our legal system. That's why I have to cross the ocean to see the real thing with my own eyes. The heart of the British Empire. I wish I could see it too. Then come with me. We have a wild time tearing up the streets of Her Majesty's City of London together. Only it was that simple. Oh dear, look at the time. I better be going. Alright, I'll see you later. I think I will stay and enjoy this place a while longer. Good idea. After all, it's not every day you get to visit a high-class Western restaurant like this. And so he left. Professor came, sit here, drink coffee, die. Oh yeah, this is in the past, which means we are not gonna get autopsy report, are we? Like with actual accuracy. This is okay. See you in English class tomorrow then, partner. He left, professor came. Okay. It was straight after that. That's when it happened. Asugi, may I have a word? Kazuma Asugi, yeah. How did we have a gun? In the cutscene we have a gun in our right hand. How did we have a gun? Hello? I think the girl was in the cover. Professor, I didn't know you were coming. Well, this case has a personal significance to me. But never mind that for now, Asugi. You should go immediately to the judge's chambers. To His Excellence's chambers? Why? He was looking for you before. You advocating for the defense in this trial was a sudden decision. Since there may be some confusion about procedures today as a result, about today's procedures today as a result. Who is this man? I first thought I have seen him at university before. I see. I will go at once then. I shall accompany you. Alright then, Ryunosuke. I'll see you in the courtroom. Yes, thanks, Kazuma. This is awkward. If I may. Yes, sorry. You must be the defendant. Ryunosuke Naruhodo, I believe. Yes, that's right. My name is Yuji Mikotoba. I'm a professor at forensic medicine at Yume University. Okay, so we do have some level of accuracy. Oh, Professor Mikotoba. I have heard that name from Kazuma before. As I recall, he's been pushing to get the government to agree to Kazuma studying abroad. Asugi has told me about you. You and he are best friends, I understand. As such, I feel you should know. Know what? Well, as you have no doubt heard, Asugi has been granted permission to go and study in Great Britain. And you being a murderer is fucking with his chances. So please just confess and let him go in peace. However, if he should fail to defend you in today's trial, I'm afraid that that permission will be revoked and never granted again. What? Ah, as I suspected, you were unaware of this. I have a feeling Asugi may have chosen not to tell you. He agreed to defend me, knowing that if he fails, his dream will be shattered? But I don't understand, why would the government do such a thing? The administration has to choose from a large number of applicants for overseas study. Very difficult to persuade them to grant permission, even in the most favorable of circumstances. I don't believe it. But I didn't do it, I swear. I'm not a murderer. I'm sure that's true. Nevertheless, I can assure you that proving our innocence will be no easy task. You see, there are certain peculiarities about today's trial. That's not the word I was expecting. Sorry, what do you mean? You'll soon understand once proceedings get underway. I just realized we don't have a menu yet. We normally have a menu with character's profile, the badge. Oh, but I guess that makes sense because we are not playing from the point of view of the lawyer yet. I'm probably gonna be on the tutorial. But then what should I do? Well, naturally, I'm not going to suggest doing anything could lead to I'm not going to suggest doing anything that could lead to a conviction. Right, so as soon as the trial starts, the judge will pose a certain question to the defense. When that happens, you must answer before anyone else. You must say, I do. I do? But what would the question be? Surely not. Do you accept the accusation brought before you? Of course not. Silly man. Of course not. Court is about to begin. Proceed to the courtroom at once. It will be seen our superstitious discussion are to be cut short. Is this game also gonna be a kangaroo court like the other ones? So allow me to summarize. Kazuma Asaki must not be the defense lawyer in this trial. Of course, as the defendant, the final decision is yours. Ooh, can we say that we want to defend ourselves? What are you waiting for? Do you want to be found guilty for failing to appear? Get moving, there is no point in advocating for the likes of you anyway. This is it. This trial goes badly. Kazuma's dream of studying abroad are over, and what more, I will be found guilty of murder. And so, with absolutely no idea of what lay ahead, I embarked on that unforgettable trial. My one and only chance of proving my innocence. The trial that would decide my destiny. 22nd of November, 9 a.m. Okay, so here in the morning, doesn't matter. Second courtroom. He is the protagonist. He was in the cover. So are we not playing as the lawyer? Are we playing as you? You are the lawyer. Are we gonna defend ourselves? Please, that sounds fun. On the other hand, his tutorial kind of fits the franchise. Anyway, so this is a courtroom. Oh, it's gonna be a kangaroo court the same way. Oh, I miss these games. No court in the land has more power. The Supreme Court of Judiciary. People watching. Okay. I don't much like the look of those people sitting in the public gallery. Very military looking. Lots of military and other uniforms in there. The powers that have been demanded... Sorry. The powers that have demanded this be a secret trial. Secret trial. A trial that is close to ordinary members of the public. Only military and government officials may attend. What the fuck? Who did we kill? Why? It will become clear in time. But for now, you need to concentrate, Ryunosuke. It's about to begin. Oh, okay, they still using the same designs. Okay, that's fine. The court will now hear the trial of Ryunosuke Naruhodo. Or just enjoying the music. And let's see while I'm enjoying it. Motherfucker, you are still the tutorial prosecutor. Okay. Ouchie. The prosecution is ready, Your Excellence. Still no voice acting. As is the defense. Oh, we can see both at the same time. Naruhodo, his eyes are twitching, sorry. Before we begin, there is one point of order I would like to confirm. Yesterday evening, the defense made a last-minute request for a change of advocate. That is correct, Your Excellence. I made the request myself. His eyes. Normal procedure is for the defendant advocacy to be decided 2 days prior to trial. As this is an unusual circumstances, I am obliged to ask for final confirmation now. Who advocates for the defendant in this trial? This is it. This must be the question. Who is going to defend me? That's the question the professor meant. But then, if I say I do... Oh, please! Oh, I like this. Need to answer a quick, what should I do? Yes, yes, yes. Your Excellence, no confirmation is needed. As I'm standing beside the defendant, I hope it's clear who will be advocate for his defense. What is the meaning of this unruly outburst? I would like to inform the court that I, Ryunosuke Naruhodo, will be defending myself. Oh, this is gonna be fun. You will be what? What are you playing at, Ryunosuke? Professor Mikotoba told me everything, just now before the trial. He did what? He said that your dreams of studying abroad would be dashed if you were to lose. How sad. It means you don't have faith in me. You think I wouldn't be able to get you off? No, it's not that, really. It's just that... Well, on the off chance that things don't go well for me, I couldn't bear to be the reason that you... Yes, I knew that's how you would feel, you would have feel. Which is exactly why I decided not to tell you. Professor Mikotoba shouldn't have struck his nose in. Very well. The court hereby recognizes the defendant desires to advocate for himself in today's trial. I love the kangaroo court. Well, well, does the accused admit defeat already? Renounce his own counsel, really? Objection! Make no mistake, counsel. This merely shows that the defendant's innocence is so apparently he is confident he can speak for himself. Isn't that so, Naruhodo-san? Oh, yes, exactly. Exactly what I wasn't thinking. I'm not confident at all. Oh, okay, I like this series, okay. In fact, my mind is completely blank. I realize you're in charge now, but still, try not to look so bewildered. Well, for a mere university student to be brought before the Supreme Court, you must have perpetrated a most heinous crime indeed. As you are no doubt aware, this is the Supreme Court of Judicature of Japan. Accordingly, the very highest standard of conduct are expected of all present. Do I make myself clear, Defendant Naruhodo? Yes, Your Excellence. It is therefore my duty to assess your competence for the task you have undertaken, also known as the tutorial. My competence? What does that mean? Means we are about to begin the game. Well, he can't be questioning it more than I am. Let's start with the very simplest of questions. Oh, yes. Kindly state before the court the name of the victim in this case. Oh, that's easy enough. I heard his name more times than I care to remember. But wait. I'm so nervous I can't even remember that. How was it again? Ryunosuke? Tutorial for the profiles? Let me guess, your mind gone blank. You know me so well. Other relevant information for this case can be found in the court records, but I can't even find that. It's simple. You can access the court records with the press of E. Verify that you have forgot something. Consult. Okay, cannot press it yet. Just have to press E for the court records. Alright, there is no time to lose. Can I click? I can click. University color. Pin the proof that I'm a student. This is the list of evidence. You can switch to people with E. You find the details of the victim here. When you're done, press Z to go back. Remember, everything with the current case can be found in the court report. Post-mortem report. So we do have a report. Death occurred a little after 2 p.m. and was caused by loss of blood from a gunshot to the chest. The bullet did not pass through the victim's body. Can I zoom in? No. Can I examine? Yes. Victim John H. Wilson, male, British. Time of death, 19th of November. Single bullet fire at close range. Fatal hemorrhage from pectoral ballistic trauma. No execute, but did not pass through the body. Okay, and then we can do people. Kazuma Asugi, Ryuji Makatobo. John H. Wilson, the victim of this case, he was a visiting professor of medicine, which means he knows Eugene. So right now Eugene is the biggest suspect because it's probably not Kazuma and he's the only other character. What was the name again? Wilson. John H. Wilson. Now, you better not keep His Excellency waiting any longer. Go on. Find the people and then present. Oh, okay, so they are not asking us. We have to present the person. The victim name was Dr. John H. Wilson. Well, at least you can remember the name of a esteemed member of your own university. Dr. Wilson was a visiting professor from England, invited to Yuma University 3 years ago. So he already back to speaking for us. Indeed, which is the reason why this case has such profound implications. Oh, because foreigner, okay. The British Empire is at present our country's most valuable foreign ally. And as most of you will be aware, we have just signed a new treaty together after lengthy negotiations. There can't be anyone who haven't heard of the Anglo-Japan threat of friendship and navigation. And yet, despite these delicate circumstances, the blood of an Englishman has been spilled on our soil. You two are both undergraduates at the University Yuma University. Is Yuma like future? Dream? Could be confusing with some other word. Murdering a professor from the very institution that provides your education. Have you no honor? But I didn't do it. This case is coming under great scrutiny from our allies on the other side of the world. The court therefore wishes for a speedy resolution to this matter. Okay, normally the first case in Ace Attorney, the tutorial is normally a one-day trial. This is probably set up to explaining that this is gonna be a one-day trial. In other words, our feeble government is scared of upsetting England's policymakers. And you are a convenient and expendable scapegoat to blame for this crime. So that's why this trial has these unusual peculiarities, is it? Exactly. Our government needs to convict someone as quickly as possible. All because the victim was an Englishman. Yes, Dr. Wilson was an Englishman. But nationalities and threats won't make any difference for me here. The fact is, I was there at the scene of the crime. Okay, are we gonna get a self-testimony? Oh dear, look at the time. I better be going. Alright, I'll see you later. I think I will stay and enjoy the place a little longer. Good idea. After all, it's not every day you get to visit a high-class Western restaurant like this. See you in English class tomorrow then, partner. The British Empire. Wow, it is incredible to think. Wait. Drinking with someone, okay. I've seen that man at university. I'm sure he's a visiting professor from Great Britain. I don't know his name, but still. I just realized I never changed the category and name on Twitch. Sorry, just a second. I don't know his name, but still, I should go and say hello. So I went over to the professor's table and introduced myself to Dr. Wilson. Now then, let me pose my next question to you, Defendant Naruhodo. Yes, Your Excellence. How did this professor of medicine, Dr. John H. Wilson, lose his life? State before the court the case of death. The case of death. Now, obviously, that was... You could remember that in court, every assertion must be backed up by evidence. But how? Find a piece of evidence that show the professor cause of death and select present. Kinda wish these buttons were like in the UI itself. Like there was a button here, present.
Yes!
Present, sorry. Well... Ah, the animation is great. According to this document, the victim suffer a fucking English words. How do you Google pronunciation? Sorry. Normally, not a problem, but not a word I use a lot. Sorry. Hemorrhagic. Let's go. That should be close enough. Hemorrhagic death due to a gunshot trauma. Learn to read your imbecile. The post-mortem report, I take it. Sorry, yes. That's right, the post-mortem report. In the West, a doctor dissecates the corpse to identify the cause of death in an autopsy. Dated autopsy report. But here in Japan, a police officer merely inspects the body and draws conclusion that way. Oh, I see. Long as I'm not going to be tested on any of this later, you will. Ooh, photo. This so-called photographic print of this. This is a so-called photographic print of the scene of the crime. Okay. Gunshot wound. I don't think cameras were mirror. So right shoulder from the front. Okay. You can clearly discern scorch marks around the bullet hole procedure produced by the powder explosion. In other words, we should assume the victim was shot at close range. Thank you, Counsel. The court will accept this modern scientific evidence into the record. Photographic print of the victim has been entered into the court. So that's a photographic print? Well, that's something I've never seen before. Let me take a look. He was shot from the front and the chest subsequently died. Can I see it? Okay. Just started eating. Oh, wait, what was that? Magnificent glass? Ooh. Okay, it doesn't let me actually read the text. What is this saying here? Okay. Go back. It's clearly superior to a drawing. The detail is incredible. Very well, I'm satisfied with your answers. Let us start the trial. Certainly, Your Excellence. So, without further ado, in order to better apprise the court with the facts of the case, the prosecution hereby calls its first witness, who was there at the scene of the crime when it happens. Shouldn't the first witness be a detective? The fuck was that? Autosave? This is it then? I think I may have worked out what the professor have in mind. The professor? You mean Mikotoba? Yes, clearly you are the defense lawyer today, not me. But that doesn't mean... Well, I can still act as your assistant. Ah, of course. When he was speaking with me before, he simply said, Kazuma Asogi must not be the defense lawyer in this trial. Okay. He really has been sticking his hours in, hasn't he? Maybe, but any help you can give me would be greatly appreciated, Kazuma. Well, my first piece of advice is running in that crazy look of bewilderment and control the cold sweats. Only if you run in that crazy headband and control the cold stares. Headband will never stop floating. Okay. Witness, state your name and occupation for the court, please. Of course, my name is Satoru Hosanagi. I am the head waiter at the Western-style restaurant called La Carnival. Okay, dude is already bleeding. Are you alright? You seem to be cutting up some... It's a regular occurrence. It really doesn't bother me. Well, it really should. As everyone knows, the capital's southeast quarter was developed for foreign visitors some years ago. It became a very fashionable district now, full of hotels to accommodate overseas guests. This grim crime occurred in one of the district's so-called restaurants, an Occidental eatery 3 days ago. Understood? Hosanagi-san, you will kindly tell the court everything you can about the incident. At once, sir. And no petty interjection from the aspiring lawyer boy, please. We will have our time to press. Perspiring, maybe, but aspiring? Ooh, nice music. It was just after 2 p.m. on the day in question. We have few diners at the time of the day. At that time of the day. The lunchtime rush was over and there was only 3 tables occupied. That fits with my memory. There was hardly anyone else in the place. It was when... Are you bleeding again? It was when I was in the kitchen putting away crockery and the cutlery. A gunshot rang out, so I hurried out to the dining area to see what happened. I found the victim, an English gentleman, slumped in his chair. And standing immediately beside him, gun in hand, that's one of the big questions right now. The fuck is the gun? Was the accused university student?
Yes!
Yes. Hold on, let me clarify something. While I did pick up a gun that I found lying on the floor beside the professor, I didn't shoot him.
Objection!
Please don't interject. I believe I asked you to refrain from petty interjections. The court wishes to listen to the witness report of what he saw, you amateur. But... the next time you interject at the inappropriate time, you'll be penalized, Defendant Naruhodo. Don't worry, Yosuke, you have your chance to fight back. For now, we must quietly listen to the witness. If I may confirm one point, waiter, standing beside the victim with a gun in his hand was the same man we see here in court today. Yes, without question. I see. And apart from the accused, was there anyone else standing beside the victim? No. There was no one else around the table but the deceased Englishman and the university student. Who was in the other tables? Wait, what did he just say? There was no one else around that table? What's the matter, Ryunosuke? That's just not right. When I went over to Dr. Wilson to say hello, there was a woman sitting opposite him. Sorry. There was a woman sitting opposite him at his table. Really? And that's not something the waiter could have missed. I'm being worried about interjecting, but still, what should I do? Wait and see. I desperately want to say something, but was told not to interject, and we will have our time to attack. Rinosuke, if your parents tell you to study, you are the kind of man who would diligently get to work, aren't you? I suppose I am. I never got into Yume University otherwise. I would have never got into. But you can't just always follow the rules in life, you know? If you don't say what you want to say right now, you will seriously regret it when you're found guilty. I thought we were gonna have time to press him. Alright, you scared me. I won't forget that piece of advice in a hurry. And there is something I want to say. I'm just going to shut my eyes and say...
Yes!
Okay, so it was a fake choice. Sorry. Just adjusting. Just a minute. Dr. Wilson wasn't alone that day. I'm sure of it. There was a lady sitting with him at the same table.
Objection!
Dear me, what are we going to do with you? With your blatantly disrespect for court proceeding, I'm beginning to wonder if you're not a fraud. Could it be that the accused is mere student? Is not a real lawyer after all. But I'm sure of what I saw. Oh, Kusanagi-san, is there any chance you're mistaken? Perhaps your memory of events is hazy? No. The deceased gentleman came to dine alone. I don't believe it. I actually have a rough plan of the restaurant as it was that day. Please, have a look if you like to. Let me see. Oh, a sketch of the establishment layouts drawn by yourself, I presume. That's right. I'm afraid I used the back of my business card. It was a turbulent situation. However, as you can see, the gentleman in question was seated alone. Oh, that doesn't really actually show that. Well, you're clearly a very conscientious... Sorry, I don't know this word. Conscientious? Conscientious waiter. Thank you, sir. I'm gonna be using the Google a lot in this playthrough if the translation is gonna be like that. The court will take this plan and add it to the court record as evidence. Oh, and well, is there a problem? Sorry. Is there a problem? Hand the plan to the court officer at once. Of course, here you are. What was that about? He's been completely calm and collected until now. Something certainly seemed to have shaken him. The waiter business card has been added. So, the court has now here a precis of the case. Give me that. Turn around. How do I turn around? I want to see what's in the back. Turn it around. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tables. I think we were sitting in this one. And she was sitting here. He was sitting here. They said 3 tables. So aside from this, there was someone else in one of the other 4 tables. Okay. So the court has now here a precis of the case. Yes, at the moment the gunshot was heard in the restaurant, the only person in close proximity to the victim was the defendant on trial today. It would seem we are looking at a black and white case here. Defendant Naruhodo. Yes, Your Excellence. If you admit your guilt at this stage, the court is willing to look mercifully upon you. In other words, you may have some small reprieve in terms of your inevitable punishment. I called this waiter as an unsworn witness in order to explain the details of the case to the court. But I must warn the defense, if you are determined to pursue matters further in this trial, the prosecution has decisive evidence from sworn witnesses who were present at the scene of the crime. What do you think I should do, Kazuma? What do you mean? Well, I'm going to be found guilty one way or another, it seems. Wouldn't it be sensible to pledge guilty at this stage and hope for a more lenient sentence? Everyone keeps telling me that this trial is unusual about these peculiarities. You have said it, Professor Bikotoba said it, and so has the judge and the prosecution. I'm scared of what lies ahead if I push this. As I said from the outset, I believe you're innocent. I trust you. And yet, despite knowing that, you're willing now to throw that trust back in my face. Is that it? What? If the accused is in fact innocent, then a defense lawyer is duty-bound to prove that innocence by whatever means necessary. Whatever means. Are you just gonna abandon that duty? Are you going to give up on yourself? The battle hasn't even begun yet, Ryunosuke. Defense pleads not guilty, Your Excellence. We invite the prosecution to stop making empty threats and bring out its witnesses. Then we will see how decisive this evidence really is. Indeed. Prosecutor Auchi, please continue with proceedings. Well, you were warned. The young can be reckless. You know, many call me a saint, but I can be the devil when I want to be. In a few short moments from now, are you gonna lose your hair by the end of the trial? In a few short moments from now, that dumbstruck young mouth of yours will be silent forever. The prosecution calls its next witness. Are we letting the waiter go? Very well, officer, bring forth the witness. What's up? Oh yeah, you guys were in the cutscene. Witness, sorry. Witness, kindly state your name and occupations for the court. Are we gonna have 2 witnesses at the same time? Also, we did not have time to press the waitress testimony. Nossa. Yes, sir, the Great Nippon Imperial Army Sergeant. Yes, Nossa. Reporting for duty, sir. Myself, I find the employ of a purveyor of fine articles of antiquity from the efflorescences of our nation, Nippon. I conduct my trade from Rasute, a humble premises in the 2nd district, Kyoryo Korekuta, at your service. An antiquity dealer and a soldier, what an unusual pairing. Both of these gentlemen were present at the restaurant on the day in question. They must be diners at the other tables that the waiter mentioned. Myself, I habitually take tea of the most exquisite aroma at the establishment in question, always post noon. And not in print, sorry. Oh. Sorry about that. And not infrequently converse with the interest parties regarding the curious which I make my business. I can't understand a word this old man says. Yeah, it's not easy. He's an antiquity dealer, and it sounds like he's a regular at the La Carnival. He seeks out potential customers who may have an interest in antiquities and try to sell his wares. Also, he's a con artist, okay. He always targets La Carnival because it's a high-class restaurant with rich clientele. Right, I see. Although, to be honest, that sergeant looks more like a seller rather than a buyer. Now, you both witnessed the precise moment of this most atrocious incident. Is that correct? Affirmative. The enemy unit was seen attacking the foreigner in what can only be described as an act of war, sir. It was a black uniformed rogue infantry over there who unloaded his firearms, sir. This man is as imposing to... This man is as impossible to understand as the other. But I'm almost sure I heard a strange noise during the last thing he said. There was like a So this is the decisive evidence the prosecution was threatening. The soldier is claiming that he actually saw the precise moment you shot the victim dead. Yeah. Well, are you starting to feel uncomfortable? If I'm honest, I was feeling uncomfortable from the start. Now, the court will hear your formal testimony, please. You will state everything you saw at the precise moment that the incident occurred. Are we gonna have two witnesses at the same time? Yes, sir. Standing by, ready to report, sir. Unsavory memories of a most acerbic afternoon. Witness testimony. What the witness saw. I was ingesting a regular beef steak at the restaurant while having a tactical discussion with the old man. Myself, I was extolling the virtues of particularly fine golden courtesy to the military gentleman. At the precise moment, a firearm was discharged. I observed the enemy action with my own eyes. The black uniform varsity cadet fired on the English civilian. In from the back, the cowardly little vessel. Okay, so that's the mistake. I was on my hands and knees, investigating the whereabouts of my mysterious, absconded precious curio. Well, so you see, Sergeant Nosa. So you, Sergeant Nosa, actually witnessed the vital moment. You saw the split second when the defendant fired the weapon at the victim. Yes, sir. Affirmative, sir. It's a baby. Does he have a baby in his back? Have you seen his left? Bro, don't bring out the knife. Does he have a baby in his back? The wicked university cadet, sir. The cruel and unforgivable enemy. What times we live in when an English gentleman may be assailed in broad daylight. Sorry, in broad light of day. But this is ridiculous. I didn't shoot anyone. Is that really true, Ryunosuke? Not even a little bit? You know, he was not Japanese. Maybe you want to shoot him a little bit. Yes, all I did was pick up the gun and I was laying it on the floor. After I said hello to Dr. Wilson, I went back to my table and sat drinking some coffee. Then, when I finished, I got up from my seat to leave the restaurant. When I noticed an English-made gun next to the chair where the professor was sitting. Okay, that's the exit. Gun, women. Okay. I thought perhaps the professor had dropped it. So I bent down just as I was about to pick it up. Just as I was picking it up. Well, if that's true, there was obviously a criminal on the scene somewhere. And somewhere in these two witness testimonies, there is a clue as to who that criminal was. There is. Ryunosuke, you must exercise your right to cross-examine the witness. Cross-examine? Do it now. As we have heard, Your Excellence, there is no room for doubt in the testimony of this witness. The defendant is clearly guilty. It is time to bring the despicable student to justice. Certainly, the testimony the court has just heard eliminates any vestige of doubt. Therefore, it is my grave duty to declare the verdict of this. What in the name of the Emperor is the meaning of this outburst? The defense demands its right to cross-examination. This is slow-paced. Dear me, dear me. Let me guess, the Hachimaki headband boy next door told me to do this. How pathetic. Huh? How did he know? because you probably don't know what cross-examination means. The prosecution objects this is a waste of time. The defendant obviously has no experience. How can he possibly carry out a cross-examination?
Objection!
Defense is asserting its right to a cross-examination. We are not asking, motherfucker. Whenever you think he's capable of it, it's irrelevant. Kazuma is commending. Protagonist is getting his gay crush on his best friend. Very well. Let the defense conduct a cross-examination of the witnesses. Alright, this is where the battle really begins, Ryunosuke. But I don't even know what I have to do. Isn't it obvious? You have to expose the lies in the witness statements. How? You didn't fire a gun, which means what the soldier said has to be a lie. Well, yes, but it's just a case of proving, and the key to doing it is evidence. Right, evidence. All you have to do is present some decisive and indisputable evidence that proves the witness is lying. Now let's go, Ryunosuke, don't let them beat you. Alright then, Dev, where is the sound effect? It's our Nafi. Okay, do I want to just go for the answer which I know? Or do I want to press? In general, I kind of want to just press everything because that leads to more dialogue. And I like the dialogue. So let's just press everything.
Yes!
Why aren't you saying anything? Is this some new interrogation technique? I haven't actually thought of what I want to ask. Just ask about anything that catches your attention, anything that bothers you. Alright then. This beefsteak you mentioned, what kind of food is that? Beefsteak is a delicious cut of veal, vigorously cooked on cast iron grill and served in piping hot. Oh. If food could receive a medal of honor, beefsteak would be almost as highly decorated as a cutlet. Right, I see. Thank you, sir. So, next question. He's gonna raise his hand every time. This cutlet you mentioned, what kind of food is that? Cutlet is a delicious cut of veal tossed in breadcrumbs and deeply fried cooking oil. Accept your guilty verdict, atone for your crimes, and then you're released from prison, try it. Yes, sir, I will, sir. On the double, sir. Sorry to interrupt, but how about trying to stick to questions that are relevant to the case? Oh, sorry, I will do my best. So, is it means or just do you keep hearing negative? There is no baby in my back. At least we learn he's a big beef lover. Affirmative. It's not easy knowing. Not easy knowing what question. Sorry, just pop up a Steam achievement for problem in doing press. Okay, the mistake is in the fourth one. Okay. No, I click it back. No idea what to suppose. Listen, we know there are lies. Understand the question is how. Like I say, present evidence. Blah blah blah. Inconsistent. You don't need to explain the fucking tutorial again. I'm just enjoying the press system. Holy shit, how much do you need to talk? I could swear I pressed back. Yeah. Oh. Oh, both left and right. Clicking on right and left to both go forward. I need to click with right mouse button to go back. That's weird.
Yes!
I have no idea what you're talking about. A Koban boy? A Koban, you mean old Edo coin? The day prior to the incident, a treasure of exceptional value from Hoei period entered my possession. Took myself to the restaurant the following day with said item securely in my bosom pocket, in the hopes of an affluent cognizant, appraised of its indisputable value being a present. So you are hoping to sell your Koban coin to Sergeant Knowles, who you have met at the restaurant. Yes, it's quite clear where you're going with this, boy. You are about to assert that a penniless soldier will have no hopes of purchasing a precious Koban. Isn't that so? Well, you little upstart cadet. You want to add disrespecting a superior officer to your list of crimes? Do you? Blatant subordination. No, I didn't say anything. I thought penniless might be the word I was looking for. In any case, the hour was already advanced beyond that of the midday luncheon. There remained precious few present, whom I could engage in discourse about matters of business. The gentleman aside from me, who was grappling with his brazen view at the time, was my solo prospect. I see. The primal Afar was charged with the enemy with my eyes. So you're saying that you actually saw me at the time? Affirmative. I saw you, laughing, cackling like a madman as you trained the barrel of your gun. As you trained the barrel of your gun on an English civilian. But that's impossible. Allow me to confirm just one point, please. What's that, Private? Thinking careful about the statement you just made, it seems to me that it must have been just after you heard the gunshot that you looked over to the victim's table. And so what if it was? Well, if that's really the case, it would mean you didn't in fact see the precise moment when the killer actually fired the gun. And double R. My sixth sense. Sorry? My sixth sense of danger. I pick up the waves of murderous energy radiating from your foul mind. I can sense bloodlust. Which means, split second before you pull the trigger, I was looking right at you, Cadet. Cadet? Surely that's not really possible, is it? Do you really think I have got what I was today in the army if I couldn't sense dangers in the air, son? Well... It would seem the soldier is absolutely convinced that he saw you do the deed. It's no good. I'm gonna just press this one and then we can do the evidence. So this black uniformed university cadet, you're saying that was... I have just enough of your sauce, Cadet. Who else do you see around here in a black uniform? Well, there's someone standing right next to me who fits the description well, but... It was you, you little vessel. You unloaded the firearm on that man from behind his back and you call yourself a citizen of the great empire of Nippon. You disgust me. What is it, Ionosuke? I'm not quite sure. It's something the sergeant just says, but I can't quite put my finger. Something playing on my mind. In that case, check back over the details of the evidence you gather. If you see inconsistencies, don't hold back. Present the evidence. I'm not gonna press the last one because I don't want to do the final conversation again. So present. Autopsy report. Does not dictate that was from the front. This one dictates, so let's go with this one. What are you playing at, Cadet? What is the meaning of this subordination? Tossing some photograph printing into my mustache. Inconsistent, sir? I mean, yes. There is a clear inconsistency. I'm so looking forward to when he actually makes a good noise. What's nonsense? What can this print possibly tell us we don't already know? Well, obviously, that... I know what I want to say, but the words just won't come out of my mouth. Is this... I think this proves beyond any doubt, Your Excellence. There is no place for an amateur student here, in this grand courtroom. This is so frustrating. There we go. Oh, police. Surely it doesn't require an explanation. Couldn't be more plain. To spell out would be an insult to the court. What is this, Miles Kazuma? What? What are you talking about? It's apparent from a single glance at the photographic print presented by the defense. There is a clear discrepancy here. The sergeant's statement. What? Sergeant Yasanosa. Yes, sir. What, sir? The statement you just made was this. The black uniformed varsity cadet fired on the English civilian, and from the back, the coward little whistle. Yes, affirmative, sir. I witnessed the crime with my own military-grade eyes, sir.
Yes!
But no, that just can't be. And why not, cadet? Because... Take a closer look at the print. The victim, Dr. Wilson, died from a bullet wound to the chest. Oh. Sergeant, according to your witness statement, the culprit shot the victim from behind. And that is obvious, and that's the obvious discrepancy here. Well, the power of the point finger. And that is the obvious discrepancy here. Well, how do you explain it? Oh, hello, little boy. What the... What was that? Something just popped up from behind his back, but he pushed it down again. Certainly, there's a clear discrepancy with the facts here. Would you not agree, Sergeant Nosa? Yes, sir. At this juncture, that would appear to be indisputable. Until the moment I heard the firearm discharge, my eyes were formally fixed on the delicious La Carnival steak, sir. What? The last testimony the court heard has proven one thing beyond all reasonable doubt. This witness, Sergeant Ian Sanosa, did not see the defiant firing a gun at all. That's absurd. I think the conclusion we must draw is simple. There is no place for an amateur prosecutor here in this grand courtroom. Okay, he still has a hair. There has been a complete turnabout in the mood of this trial just from that one discrepancy. So this is what being an ace attorney is all about. You'll get there, don't worry, Naruto. But I definitely saw him. That universe cadet there, he was pointing the firearm directly at the victim's back.
Yes!
But I never fired the gun. All I did was pick up from the floor. And you, old man, you didn't see the moment the victim was shot either. Myself, I have already been quite clear. The gunshot interested me not. I was far too busy on the floor. Sorry, what were you doing? Hunting for the treasure. Treasure. Indeed, the Hoenn Erakoban, my prized coin. On each occasion when I visit that restaurant, it is my habitude to place in my bosom pocket a particular trinket of interest from my shop, Rasute, in the hopes of meeting a rich diner who might like to buy it from you. On the day under scrutiny, it was the military man that I proffered my Hoenn treasure. Believed that he would purchase such a rare find, I did not, but I was presented with little alternative. And then, after averting my It averted my eyes for the briefest moment. It was there no more, simply vanished. Did the baby took the coin? The koban vanished? Hunting around under the table, I was, in case mayhap it may... Sorry. Hunting around under the table, I was, in case mayhap it have fallen there. And then it happened. You heard the gunshot, you mean? Indeed I did, but I hid it not, for I was concerned only with finding my absconded Hoenn treasure. Nothing could distract me. Out of interest, did you find the coin in the end? No. I see. That lamentable day, the precious Hoenn koban was lost to me. No doubt some unscrupulous scoundrel pocketed the prize coin for himself. As I'm sure everyone present is aware, this case demands a swift and decisive resolution. Our government has promised to send a full report to Great Britain by telegraph this very afternoon. Nevertheless, the witness testimony the court has just heard was inconclusive. No matter how subservient our government feels it must be to the no matter how subservient our government feels it must be to the British. It would be unforgivable to deliver a verdict on this trial right now. What is your position, prosecution? Worry not, Your Excellence. The defendant may have fled a tiger at the front gate, but he will find a wolf at the back. My witness have further testimony to make. Explain. Upon hearing their next statement, it will become abundantly clear that there is only one person who could possibly have committed this despicable crime. Are we gonna talk about the woman now with the soldier? The equally despicable defendant Ryunosuke Naruhodo. What? He really seems to have a despicable opinion of you, doesn't he? Very well. The court invites the witness to testify again. You will hate when I forget how to say a word. You will thoroughly explain the reasoning behind the prosecution allegation. Is that clearly? As clearly as crystal glass, Your Excellence. Yes, sir. At once, sir. I'm waiting signal to testify, sir. Excuse me, but there's something or someone peeking out over your shoulder, I think. Affirmative, the newest member of the Nosa family to rise up through the ranks. Sir, name Aido. It would seem those straps are a sign of the sergeant being too strapped to afford a nanny. Aido Tishi. Your father is about to cool the enemy. Watch and learn, my boy. Oh, I love this animation. Oh, I love this series. Ah, the true culprit. Even if even if what I saw wasn't the precise moment the firearm was discharged, it's almost the same thing. Yes, pointing his gun at the foreign man he was, the young lad in black. That much I myself did see. Furthermore, a visual search of the premise at the time confirmed that we were the only personnel present. Indeed, alone he was the Englishman, Nani all by himself. Before, no one other than the black uniformed cadet could have dispatched the Englishman over and out. Okay, so we're gonna present finally talk about the woman.
Yes!
Wait, that's nonsense. The victim, Dr. Wilson, wasn't alone at all. Please, enough of your outbursts already. Sorry, I'm just serving myself some water. But there was a young woman at his table. You must have seen her. Everyone there must have seen her.
Objection!
Is the voice acting just for the objection and the yes and stuff like that? If you call yourself a lawyer, then you will respect the rules of the court and speak accordingly. Let me just put this here. We are not here to listen to your fantasies. It is evidence beyond all reasonable doubt that the victim was alone at the time of the incident. The prosecution has photographic evidence of this fact. It is photographic print of the scene of the crime, counsel? Okay, so showing that he did not have a person sitting with him. Indeed, of the table at which the victim was dining, taken by the investigator immediately after the incident. Let me just look at our old photo. There is a one. One, two, three, 4 lines of meat. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so also the other thing I'll notice that the glass is empty here, but here has drink. Okay, so is this the wrong table? Okay. Indeed, of the table at which the victim was dining, taken by the investigator immediately after the incident. As you can plainly see, there is only one place set. Okay. Is this like we're sitting here, but the table we are seeing is this table? No. Okay. As you can plainly see, there is only one place set. Certainly, based on the appearance of this print, it would be reasonable to conclude that the victim was not in the company of anyone else. This doesn't make any sense. The court will add this new photographic evidence to the record. The photographic print? I don't understand. What's going on here? It's just not possible that nobody else saw that woman. The waiter before it said the same thing. You maintained that Dr. Wilson kept the restaurant alone as well. By the way, we do have you three now. Dr. Homicide the head. I'm general. Okay, you two don't matter. Oh, go back. Wait. The authority... Okay, Kazuma mentor. I from some reason I read Kazuma's father and I was confused. He maintained that Wilson came to the restaurant alone as well. But that's not true. I saw her. Oh. Wait. Sorry. I swear I saw a woman with him. Which seems that we will be able to telegraph the report to the Great Britain on time after all. The witness testimony we have just heard leave no further proof for doubt. These are very sensitive political times, as we all know. The ink is still fresh on the treaty with the Great Britain. To think that I, Taketsuchi Aoichi, will have contributed the image of these two great empires is an honor. Despair. How can this be happening? The judge is ready to rule. Stand tall, Ryunosuke. It is not over yet. What? If what you say is true, then there is something going on here behind the scenes. And now it's your chance to Did you draw your blade? And now your chance to expose it, to draw all the truth in your cross-examination. I don't know, Kazuma. The defense is entitled to cross-examine the witness, but make it quick, understood? Rules can be so unbending at times. Okay, time to press everything. Even if I was always on precise moment, firearm was discharged, it's almost the same thing.
Yes!
No, it's not the same thing. For a start, I didn't fire the gun. We have a different opinion on that. The opinion of a uniformed officer versus of a fledgling cadet. Cadet? I don't think so. Consider this, defendant. Just a moment ago, I blinked. Oh, did you? Did you see it? Did you see me blink? How could I? And yet, it's an undeniable fact that I did blink. So there you have it. Have what? Yeah. The sound of the firearm rang in my ear, and the very next moment, I saw you waving the gun at the Englishman. I think that says it all, don't you? Let us not forget the antiquity dealer witnessed the accused in his most incriminating position as well. Isn't that so, correct-san? I am wondering about the woman. Okay, so nobody saw the woman. And the two photos don't match. Did this case happen twice? Like... No, but then they saw us, so they were there when we were there. So how did they not saw the woman? So the woman was not visible. So she shot from... If he was bending... If the table is behind, he was in this direction from here or from outside. But in that case, the shot would not have been qualified as close quarter, and he does have burn marks around the wound, so the gun needs to be somewhat close. Under the table? Diagonal shot from under the table? That is enough to cover a person to go under it, but then we would see a bullet hole somewhere here. And he was shot from the front. He turned, he's looking there, and then shot, and... Where would the woman shoot from, if we're assuming... Let's not assuming woman, let's say killer. Where could the killer have shot from? The waitress is... The fact that we pick a gun in the bench means that the gun was planted there for someone to take the blame. Us. Okay. Yes, pointing his gun at the foreign man he was. That young lad in black, that much I did see.
Yes!
Yes, it may be true that I was holding a gun at that point in time, but I have told you already, that's only because I picked up off the floor. Didn't you pick up off the chair? Now, obviously, as the culprit, that's the only way you could explain it in a way. I have just finished drinking my coffee, and I was just about to leave the restaurant when... I noticed a gun on the floor, a Dr. Wilson fit. Okay, so now... Where did I read that the gun was on a chair near him? And there's a gun on the floor near his feet. I pick up. There is a drink on the table here. Is there a drink on the table? Is there a drink in this glass? Kinda. Maybe there could be. The photo is not good enough. The meat is different. The meat is big. The meat is clearly like, because this is the fourth line, so the bites would have been here and here. So the meat is clearly pointing to some sort of manipulation of the table. Also, the flour. 3. Now we cannot see the flour. Okay. Also, you can see the fork here is clean, while here is very dirty. At that exact moment, a gun gunshot rang in my ear. Full of evidence of events beyond our control, life is. Sorry, what do you mean? In your case, you found a pistol on the floor and picked it up, which precipitated this testing predict. Don't bring out the knife, my dude. Whenever it's conversely, I failed to pick up the cobalt from the floor and find myself in an equally testifying predicament as a result. Anyway, the fact remains, myself, I did see you. Pistol in hand, standing over the foreigner. Furthermore, a visual search of the premise at the time confirmed that we were the only personnel present. When did the waiter get here? Must have noticed someone else at Dr. Wilson's table. There was a lady there. As you have been... Okay, timeline. We get up, talk to the doctor, then come back to our table, finish our coffee, get up, walk, and then pick gun. We saw the woman when we went to say hello to the doctor. Did we saw the woman as we were walking towards the exit? Since we are not talking about that... As I have been at pains to point out time and time again, I feel I'm growing a callus in my ear. And yet, no one else appears to have caught even a glimpse of this woman. That's the weirdest part. How did you not see the woman before the incident? I guess because they were not paying attention around? Only there were more people dining there at the time, then someone else would have noticed her. Unfortunately, it was already past 2 p.m. when it happened. Did you... No. The quiet time between lunch and dinner is... The quiet time between lunch and dinner in any restaurant. I know, of course, the place was almost empty. It's what you have expect. Certainly, 2 p.m. is neither here nor there in terms of a time to eat. I wonder if there was a reason why the victim was eating at that time of day and why he was alone. Yes, Your Excellency, there was indeed a reason. There was... This was found in the victim's jacket pocket. Ooh, so we didn't have... This is probably gonna be the proof we are gonna be using. So we did need to press it. It's a medical report card, Your Excellence. It would seem the victim have an appointment at the clinic prior to visiting the restaurant. Hotel clinic? Yes, that would be indeed appears to be an entry for that day in question. 19 November, noon to past 1 p.m. The very day of the incident. So the victim went for a late lunch following his appointment. The explanation could be more simple. The prosecution felt no need to submit this evidence before, as it really has no bearing on the case. I wonder, what do you think, Ryunosuke? Well, it is hard to see how it could be relevant, really. Remember, you can request for it to be entered into the record if you think it would be useful. Yes.
Yes!
If I may, I would like to ask the medical report to be submitted as evidence. What grounds? I want to read it. The court has already heard the conclusive witness testimony. Additional evidence would be extraneous. Not to mention that the victim's movements prior to his arrival at the restaurant are of no concern.
Objection!
Whenever or not they are concerned is up to us to decide. We have the right to explore all possible avenues. I beg your pardon. You have no authority to refuse a perfectly valid request for the submission of evidence. Very well, the court will grant the defense request. Youngsters these days are forever asserting their right. It's a most disturbing thing. The judge in this game, at least for now, he has been really passive. In the old Phoenix Wright games, the judge was more of a character who was part of the joke. But I guess they want the judge to be a bit more of just like an actual judge. What we need right now is new clues. Let me read that shit. Medical report from Hotel Clinic that was found in the victim pot. Hotel Clinic. Have we seen this word before? Oh, it's probably gonna be Maybe his card. Yeah, maybe his card. We still need to know what the fuck is on the other side of this card. If I could read Japanese, maybe I could read some of these kanjis you can see in the back. We have to explore things from every possible angle, even if they don't seem relevant at first. Right, I hear you. You can conspire to prolong this trial as much as you like, but it's the day after the festival already. But it is the day after the festival already for you. Or perhaps you have forgotten that this witness testimony leaves no room for doubt. Feel free to reiterate for the accused, Kurikuta-san. Indeed, alone he was the Englishman, dining all by himself.
Yes!
So you actually saw that with your own eyes. The victim, Dr. Wilson, dining alone. That I did. Forgive me for the position I placed you in. With the testimony of the old man, the soldier, and the waiter all agree on that point. Isn't that interesting? Let us not forget the incontestable evidence we have to support their statement. As can be clearly seen, there is only one beefsteak on the victim's table. A meal for one. No, the antiquity, the surgeon, and the waiters who testified before. It's not impossible that they are all lying. But if so, then why? If I'm perfect, honestly, I have absolutely no idea. Therefore, no one other than the black cadet who have dispatched the Englishman.
Yes!
Why aren't you telling the truth? What did you say? There was a woman sitting across the table from the professor. Perhaps one of you might have not noticed, but for both of you to have to fail to see the professor dining companion, it's just not possible. Unfortunately for you, defendant Naruhodo, it's not just a case of those two witnesses alone. The waiter, whose testimony the court heard early, clearly stated the same. He also said that the victim was alone. That's right. Precisely. In other words, you are the solo proponent of this phantom lady. But such a woman were indeed present at the scene, the prosecution demanded to see proof. No such proof exists, the prosecution demands that no further mention of this phantom woman be made. It is a blatantly waste of court time. There is nothing I can say. And the post-press. Excellent work, Ryonosuke. We have gleaned some new information. Oh yes, but I don't feel like it changed much. I can't say that it brings new discrepancies to light. I want to be sure. Let me see the medical report card you got before. You mean this? Yes, this is a brand new piece of evidence. So perhaps we should examine closer. Oh! We are forced to see this dialogue. Motherfucker, I tried to examine. Oh, I don't like that. Use the key. Rotate the evidence and examine. How do I do that with a mouse? We can move the cross. Press space to investigate. Partner, I think you should take a closer look at the medical report. Oh, we are literally being forced to do this right now. Okay. Let's start with... Oh, I cannot move the cursor. Oh no, I can click it. Dentist, hold a clinic, date. No date. Looks like Mexico was first issued quite some time ago. Probably recorded from long treatment. I cannot imagine going to a doctor. I mean, as long as I'm alive, I'm never consulting one. Oh, if we're dead, there'll be no point. So you don't like doctors then? Why would you? They make you drink horrible taste medicine. They give you painful injections. And then they demand a lot of money from you for the privilege. How when you're at your lowest? You sound like a model patient. A bad case of stubbornness, less, for which the only cure is very bitter medicine. Okay. Before we do that, let me record for every visit. Name John Wilson, Hotel Clinic. Hotel Clinic. I hate clinics. And if I got a cold, I feel awful. Never forget it. Most people will give you that right now only. I don't think this is the clinic where they treat people for illness like that. Okay. Can I see? Am I only the newest one? Let's have a look. This is some kind of medical history. There's an entry for the day professor was killed. Extraction of the molar with topical anesthesia. Anesthetic. Anesthetic? Extraction of molar. You may have a tooth taken out, which means he wasn't be able to eat the meat. It would seem so. Just before the incident, he'd have a bad tooth removed. Perhaps they use laughing gas. That's the most modern practice in the West for pain relief. Yes, I heard of this anesthetic. Also, it's hard to believe there is anything that can actually stop you from feeling pain. And there is a cautionary note from the doctor. Strictly no food or drinks beside the water for 3 hours post-procedure, until the anesthetic effects have passed. Really? The medical card has been updated. Prohibit from eating or drinking. The meaning of particular statement change. Let's go listen to the testimony again. Most of nothing. You search. 90 by himself.
Yes.
Raise hand. Well, I think. What are you, withering lad? You call yourself a lawyer? I wish I could, but first and foremost, I am the accused. Yonosuke, everyone stumbles on their word occasionally. Under the circumstances, I wouldn't worry about it. Thanks, Kazuma. I could see quite clearly in that cross-examination you just carried out, when you raise your hand straight up like that, so purposefully. Yeah, you knew exactly what you wanted to say. Don't feel like you have to choose your words carefully. Just say what you're thinking. Alright, and thanks for the advice. Korekota-san, this is the medical report card that belonged to the victim. Oh, I see. I don't see what of it. Comparing what is written on this card with your witness statement. Something clearly doesn't add up. Dear me, have you forgotten my words so soon, amateur? Sorry, what? You are not to interrupt the court proceeding with your amateurish driven. But let's see if I can explain in words you might understand. It was after 2 PM in the afternoon when the victim was murdered at the restaurant. Whatever he may or may not have done before that time is completely irrelevant. But that's... Remember, Yonosuke, you don't have to use clever language or fancy words. Just make your point. Your Excellence, I believe we finish here. There is surely no need to prolong this trial further. The witness testimonies the court has heard have been clear and concise. This medical record has no bearing on the matter at all, for the simple reason then, there is no one else... This medical report card has nothing to do with the case? Oh, the noise was real there for a second? Do you really believe that? What? That outburst half petrified me, boy. Of course I believe. How could it possibly be relevant? Perhaps because Hoto Clinic, which issued the report card, is a dental clinic. A dental clinic? Is that supposed to mean something? Perhaps if I told you that the victim had just had a tooth extracted. What is this now? And furthermore, if I told you that as a result, the victim have been forbidden from eating. Just what are you trying to say, Cadet? Have orders not to eat, so what? It's all written up here. No food or drink other than water for 3 hours post-procedure while the anesthetic wears off. What? No, that can't be. Kurukta-san? What, boy? What? As you just heard, when he was killed sometime shortly after 2 p.m., the victim couldn't have been eating anything at all. No. Additionally, there is more. You have assured the court with unwavering self-confidence that the victim was dining alone. But that can't possibly be the case. Oh, he is starting to believe in himself. Because the victim, as we now know, have just had one of his teeth extracted and was still experiencing the effect of the anesthetic. Expertly done, partner. Gay shipping between these two is gonna be strong. What is this nonsense, you little upstart? This is baseless accusation. Just look at this photographic evidence. You can clearly see the plate of food at the victim's table. Use your head. That's the very discrepancy we are talking about, or can't you follow the logic? How dare you! I think it's fair to say the tables in this restaurant's case have turned. Oh, fuck you. Wouldn't you agree, Ryunosuke? Yes, most definitely. So, having just undergone some dental surgery, the victim was unable to eat. Which leaves one very crucial conundrum. Who, in fact, was eating the pictured beefsteak? The court will hear the opinion of the defense on this new puzzle. I assume you are ready, counsel? Counsel? Oh, that means me. Oh, doesn't it? Alright, the answer to this question is going to be pivotal. This is the start of turning this trial around. Show them what you're made of. Got it. So, the person at the stake of the victim's table must have been not me, not the victim, not the two as yet unknown third party. Obviously, it can only be someone else who was sitting at the professor's table. You will not let this go, will you? There was no such person. There was, because I saw her. When the incident occurred, we know that the victim couldn't have been eating anything. Yet we have evidence of a half-eaten steak on his table. Therefore, the only logical conclusion is that there was someone else there eating it. We have strong evidence to support our assertion. It's clear that these witness testimony are unreliable. The court decides to push through a ruling at this stage. We will lodge a formal complaint with the Ministry of Justice and pursue a fair retrial, relentlessly. Kazuma? Are you insane? You would take on the government. Don't worry, Counsel, I have no issue with you. What do you mean? I have issue with them, those two witnesses in the stand. What? What are you talking about? I have demonstrated with evidence that the victim was not alone. So if it now turns out that the two of you deliberately lie when giving your testimonies, obviously you will be charged with perjury. Perjury? And since this is a murder trial, you will also be deemed complicit in the killing. Complicit in murder? No. Audit. Negative. There was no mention of this, the TED committee. I was just following orders. That's right, as the man says. You just say you never saw the gentlewoman. That's what they told us. Oh. What? What did you just say, Kuruketa-san? Kuruketa-san? Oh, no. You were just following orders. Now, hold on, lad. I was... Say you never saw... say you never saw the gentlewoman. When you say gentlewoman, do you mean... You saw the victim with a lady from overseas? What? What is the meaning of all this? Oh, it wasn't you! So it was the... Either the waiter... No. Ooh! Oh, I can now check. Okay. Chief Inspector Satoru Hoso... Chief Inspector, Primary Criminal... Oh, motherfucker, really? Motherfucker, can I check something else? Fuck you! Well, that's unexpected. What is? Look, do you see it says the witness name here? Satoru Hosonaga. Well, yes, business card do tend to show the person name. That's sort of the point. It's not the name that is unexpected. It's his job title. Oh, Chief Inspector Satoru Hosonaga, Primary Criminal Investigation Division, Imperial Police Bureau. Inspector. I have no idea, but let's face it, the police have a lot of power and influence. If they're wielding it somewhere here. Oh, we got updated. Okay, so yeah, you are the prime suspect now. Fucking liar. The witness gave false statement. Is this true, you pair? Just one simple tip of the tongue. Order. Counsel, explain what's going on here. It's painfully clear now. You try to prevent this witness from telling the truth. Absolutely not. The prosecution knows nothing of this. Come on. And who is behind this? Who tried to make you keep your mouth shut? Well, that's classified. So you're prepared to be tried as conspirator to this murder, are you? You wouldn't. This can't be happening. Ryonosuke, judging from the way they're reacting to this, I'll say they were sworn to silence by someone with considerable influence. However, I don't believe Aochi has any idea about it. What are you saying? I mean, to wield this kind of influence, there are only a handful of possibilities. Could only be the government, the military, the police. Well, any idea who might be behind this? We can affirm who tried to silence the witness. We can continue our pursuit. Need the name of whoever was that tried to make the witness keep their mouth shut. Of course, we need evidence before we make any firm accusation. Evidence that proves that whoever really did it. Evidence that proves that whoever it was really did wield the power over her, his or her power. How can we possibly... Remember how we made progress before? Okay, so the tutorial to point the player to examine the things and then examine the card. Okay. Oh yeah, that's right. Well, that's not the only piece of evidence we have. We need to re-examine everything and make sure there's nothing we missed. There is no time to lose. I want answers. If it's proven that the witnesses have been manipulated, I assure you no penalty will be severe. I assure you the penalty will be severe. Please wait, Your Excellence. I have no idea about any of this. I swear to every Shinto god. I knew nothing. And what does the defense have to say about this? Well, Your Excellence... When I have my clothes and shoot out the first name. Beside the prosecution, the only person with the power is you.
Yes!
Well, surely that would be Satoru Hosonaga-san. Hosonaga-san, the way who took the stand earlier? Popcock. Did he... Wait. Yeah, Popcock. Popcock. What possibly reason would the waiter have to make the witness give a false testimony? Not to mention the fact that even a head waiter could not possibly have that level of influence. For once, I would agree with you. If, that is, the man truly were a waiter. What if he truly were? Come on, Ryunosuke, time to hit this cart with the truth.
Yes!
The plan of the restaurant sketched by the man in question. I agree it shows a great deal of attention to details, but I'm not sure I'm not sure we can conclude anything. Sorry, Your Excellence, that's the back of the card. It's the back of the card of interest. I beg your pardon? Oh, perhaps I should have said the front. Yes, it's the front of the back of the card. That's where the telling detail is. Just turn the card around, my dude. Would somebody please explain what this overexcited student is trying to say? Hosonaga-san sketched the plan of the restaurant on the reverse side of his business card. The front of the business card revealed the man in question's profession. His true profession. The waiter profession, but that's surely... Good gracious! That's right, Your Excellence. The card reads Chief Inspector, Primary Criminal Investigation Division, Imperial Police Bureau. What? The waiter is a police detective? I haven't heard any mention of this before. Why haven't I heard mention of this before? The Imperial Police Bureau has immense power. Absolutely power as far as regular civilians are concerned. So, witness there in the stand... Was it in fact the waiter who gave you your order? Was it he who told you not to mention that you have seen the foreign gentlewoman at the scene? Well... Is he back? Hello, bad guy. Inspector Hosonaga. Real witness! I was worried something like this may happen. The moment you asked me to submit my sketch as evidence, I realized it was a possibility. We don't need a flashback for this. Yes, I remember now. He did act strangely when the judge asked him to hand over his business card. I strive to carry out all investigations flawlessly. It's my guiding principle. But I let myself be distracted when I made that sketch. It was an unusual, careless mistake. Are we also going to talk about how the two photos contradict each other at some point? You mean to say you really are a detective? But why would a detective be working as a restaurant waiter? Oh, of course, your salary must be there. I was working undercover. Undercover? Yes. There have been a series of incidents at the restaurant recently. In order to investigate, I decided to get a job there as a waiter, working undercover. Incidents at the restaurant? What kind of incidents? Classify. That would be classified police information. Fuck you. Which I'm not at liberty to divulge. However, I can state categorically that they are unrelated to this case of homicide. Okay, very well then, Inspector Hosonaga, you will elaborate on one point for the court. Of course, Your Excellence. You have just heard new information from the two witnesses beside you. That at the time of the shooting there was in fact another person present at the victim's table. If that is indeed true, clearly you would also have been aware of this person's presence, having served at the table in question. However, your testimony did not allude to this other diner. Therefore, I'm led to assume that in your professional capacity as a police officer, you require this witness to be in agreement. Would that be correct? Correct, Your Excellence. Unbelievable, as I suspected. As soon as I heard the gunshot, I ran out of the kitchen to see what had happened. The victim sat stumped in his chair, beside him gun in hands to the accused student. Sitting opposite from the victim at the same table was a young lady, who I guessed to be an Englishwoman. So the truth comes out. I immediately sealed off the restaurant and reported the incident to the bureau. It was then that I received some special orders. Special, you mean to say? Remove the Englishwoman from the scene at once. It was made clear that the Englishwoman's presence at the restaurant was to be concealed. Those were my orders. But what if the Englishwoman was the killer? I think it would be in everyone's best interest not to pursue that idea. The Empire views the friendly terms of its relationship with Britain more highly than anything at the moment. Politics. Englishmen have been murdered on our soil. To name an Englishwoman as the primary suspect? Well, without irrefutable evidence, that would be completely out of question. So that's the reason for the disappearance of the Phantom Woman. But it's not right. Politics, my dude. One possibility does spring to mind. What do you mean, Kazuma? Yume University is currently hosting a number of exchange students from Great Britain. I'm fairly certain one of them is studying in the Medical Facility Research Laboratory is a young Englishwoman. What? You are a Shredman. I can see why you are the chosen candidate for the overseas study tour. You mean, when I removed the woman from the scene of the crime, I thought it prudent to check her identity first. And the courts demand you name the lady in question at once, Inspector. Sorry. The Englishwoman sitting at the university professor's table was a certain Miss Giselle Brett. She is indeed a foreign student studying in the research laboratory of the Yume University Medical Faculty. What is happening here? I admit that under orders from the police bureau, I erased all evidence of this lady's presence at the scene, and ordered these witnesses to make no mention of her in their testimonies. It must now be up to your excellence to decide how to deal with this situation. Very well. My thoughts on the matter are as follows. Thus far, the case presented to the court has been underpinned by a particular criminal premise, namely that the victim was dining alone. However, as we have now discovered that the premise is false, it would be a desecration of our justice system to ignore the truth and give a ruling at this point. But, Your Excellence, that would mean missing the noon deadline of a ruling in order to send the telegraph report to Great Britain. Our own government will surely be very displeased by such actions. Calm yourselves, Consul. I will not allow the government of our country or any other to influence the proceedings of my courtroom. Inspector Hosonaga? Yes, sir? You will locate this Giselle Brett and escort her to the courtroom with utmost urgency. At once, Your Excellence. But that means going against the special orders you were given from the police bureau. As I said before, it is my guiding principle to carry out our investigations flawlessly. So it won't be a problem. Nothing will get in my way. Court will adjourn briefly. The prosecution must call the English student, Jessiley Brett, to the witness stand. Do I make myself clear? Yes. Your Excellency? Good, then we shall have a 30-minute recess before reconvening. Okay, so to be continued. Oh, save point. Yeah. Nice. I wanna see if we can. I'm going to try to finish this tutorial trial today. I am a bit sleepy, but we should try. Excellent work, Ryunosuke. That was superb. My heart was in my mouth the entire time. It was almost unbelievable. I mean, looking at you in there, you were drenched in sweat, your eyes popping, your knees knocking, and you were grinding your teeth. It was a grim sight, but before I knew it, you started to find consistency in the testimonies. I think you might have a natural talent for being a lawyer. Forget it, it's terrifying. If I get through this, I don't ever want to see the inside of a courtroom again. You have 9 cases to go. Anyway, it looks like we have exposed your phantom lady at last. Sorry about it. Sorry. Hi, Miss Jessiley Brett, a student from Great Britain, is she? That's what I was trying to tell everyone from the start. Dr. Wilson wasn't alone. There was a young lady with him, like I have been saying all along. Yes, you have, haven't you? I might not be overly confident in the courtroom, but my powers of observation powered up are one thing I'm sure of. Yes, I can see that. So, about this young gentlewoman, thanks to our detective friend, she was hastily escorted away from the scene, it seems. Did you see what happened with that? No, I didn't see any of it. I was just on my way off the restaurant myself, then on the floor next to Dr. Wilson's table, there was a gun, pick up, bang. I didn't have time to think about where the sound of the gunshot have come from. The waiter ran over to me, looking as white as shit, and he hobbled me into some sort of small pantry next to the kitchen. First thing by the detective, he apprehended his suspect without a moment delay. Yes, and because I was shutting the pantry, I have no idea what happened outside in the dining. Okay, so she could have manipulated the table at that time. Was the changing the meat on the photo something the detective did to make the scene look like he was eating there by himself, so it's not relevant anymore? There you are. Well done, both of you. Are you actually on our side? Well, it seems I was right. The pair of you make an outstanding team. You have exceeded my expectations, I have to say. Yes, it seems you planned this from the start. You arranged things so that I wouldn't be able to act as a lawyer in this trial. I think I'm gonna stop actually. I'm getting really sleepy. Let's finish this conversation, and when it's time to come back to the courtroom, we will save and stop. Yeah, I think it's better that way. Our modern country is still in infancy, our justice system even more so. Which is why I firmly believe that we need to send our brightest young stars overseas to learn all they can. I want to avoid a situation that may have resulted in your study tour to the Great Britain being cancelled. Well, it makes no difference, lawyer or otherwise. If I'm the kind of man who can't help his best friend avoid the worst crisis of his life, I shouldn't waste everyone's time by going to study overseas anyway. What? What are you saying, Kazuma? So that's your stance. I was afraid you feel that way, Kazuma. Well then, it looks like it all comes down to you, young man. Me? Yes, you need to prove your innocence and uncover what really took place in that restaurant. I must say, I very much want to know the truth. After all, I have a personal connection to this case. Come to think of it, he said the same thing early this morning, didn't he? If you don't mind me asking, Professor, did you know the victim? Yes, I did. As you are probably aware, Dr. John H. Wilson was a visiting professor at UMA. And it was I who invited him. Oh, I see. I didn't know that before. Anyway, you're about to go into battle. The victim was a university professor from Great Britain, and a well-known one at that. Naturally, our government is looking to identify and punish the culprit as quickly as possible. But let's not forget who we are up against. The gentlewoman whose involvement our police bureau went to extraordinary lengths to hide. Yes, and I'm sure the prosecution will be using every tool at their disposal to squash your case. But I no doubt that you pair will put up a good fight right to the last. Best of luck. Thank you. Now then, I need you to run an errand at the university at once. There is something we may need. Of course. Good luck, Kazuma-sama. Kazuma-sama? Defendant Naruhodo, court recess is over. Please make your way back inside the courtroom at once. That's not what I want to happen, but it's okay. Options. So let's save here for today, and then we can finish this trial and start the next one tomorrow. It's good to be back, but I'm gonna probably need a few days to get back to rhythm. But that's everything for now. As always, thank you very much for watching today's stream. If you're interested in watch more of my content live, I try to stream on Twitch every day. If you're interested in watch some of my old content, I try to archive everything on my YouTube channel. Once again, thank you very much for watching. Hopefully you will join me tomorrow. Bye bye.